Okay, hello everyone. We're looking now at chapter 1.2, which is on threat actors. Now, I told you guys earlier that module 1, the danger or the threat, is meant to inform the learner about the general security risks, cybersecurity, and who can bring about those risks. And that's what 1.2 is about, threat actors. It tells us where these different attacks can come from. Now, it has two sections, threat actors and IoT security. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the threat actors part, okay, of this subsection. There'll be another video dedicated to IoT security. So let's get to it. Who are the different people that typically attack organizations, and what are their motivations, what are their skill levels, and what do they hope to gain from their attacks? That's what this section is going to talk about in this video. The first type of threat actor is the amateur or script kiddie. Now, they have little or no skill, and they use existing ready-made tools to launch attacks. So this is someone that can go online, go and look for something that you can buy real quick, and then use it to launch an attack. And that being said, they can still have devastating effects. Okay, if you, the IT person or the security professional in the company that is being attacked, has not carried out some measures to protect against these kinds of threats. But again, as these kinds of tools are online and most of the time widely known and recognized, it should be quite straightforward to protect against them. Now, for a script kiddie, typically if his attack fails, they do not have enough knowledge and enough experience to go about, understanding why the attack failed and performing a more refined version of the attack. That being said, it's still somebody to keep into consideration and to actively protect against. Now, the next threat actor is the hacktivist. Now, these are typically skilled people and they sometimes work in groups. And their main aim or why they hack is to protest against political and social ideas. So you guys have seen people that are protesting against ideas. They go and maybe burn buildings, spray on paint, or do whatever other kind of thing that they usually do. This is their own way of protesting. They're activists. They protest through hacking. Their protests can involve posting articles and videos about, I don't know, certain private information. They can also leak information, secret documents, classified plans to the public. They also usually work by disrupting web services. So they're going to attack a particular resource, like a web application of a company they're protesting against, to limit its availability. Then finally, they also do other things using DDoS attacks. Now, a very popular hacktivist group is Anonymous. You guys can look online, you find them quite easily. They have a good number of hacks that they have done against very public organizations. It's a hacker group. The next type of hackers we have are the gray or the black hats. Now, why I put them in the same category, we're going to differentiate between them later, but I put them first in the same category because they both hack into systems without consent. They are usually quite skilled, okay, and they go about their hacking without permission from the target. Now, the gray hat typically hacks for educational purposes, so he can try to compromise a particular company or a particular resource. Once he has been able to compromise it, he now maybe sends a letter, puts out an information, tell them that okay, it's like this. You guys have this issue on this particular device, or you guys should look into getting that fixed. That's kind of how they hack, either to educate or to send a message, but they don't really have any malicious intents behind it. They don't really even plan on making money from their hacks. Whereas the black hats, these are what we call quote unquote our real cyber criminals because they hack specifically for financial gain. Either is that they're hacking to get money from you or they're being paid to hack you by somebody else. But whatever the case, they carry out their actions for financial motive. There's also another type of skilled hacker, which is the white hat or the ethical hacker, who hacks with consent to uncover flaws in systems so that these black hats and the gray hats will not be able to exploit those vulnerabilities. Now, the white hat is not really part of this group that I'm putting. It's not a threat actor. It's actually instead a defender. Okay, but it's worth mentioning nevertheless. Then the last type of hacker is the state-sponsored hacker. Now, they steal data and interrupt processes in foreign countries, either to steal information or to affect certain projects in those companies. And these, their acts, can give a country a significant advantage in international trade or negotiations. And they are usually a group of highly skilled. Think of like the most qualified, the most experienced, the most proficient hackers in the country that are employed to work in these kinds of units. And this kind of job, this kind of role, right, is becoming more prevalent in countries since Stuxnet, especially because Stuxnet was like a landmark event that showed that hacks, cybersecurity hackers can actually have impact on physical resources. It may have been happening before, but on a smaller scale. But at this point in time, no one has seen this kind of sophistication on that kind of major project, and it's now giving different governments ideas. But now you never know about these kinds of units because it's like quite, kept under the hush. You just get recruited one day because of you have been noticed for your skill. But that's how it works, right? So these state-sponsored hackers, they are like spies that do their spy stuff with hacking. That's how it is. Now, that was it for this video on the threat actors. Please, if you think I've missed anything, feel free to leave a comment. Please like the video, or subscribe, and follow me on my other socials so that we can communicate and have more avenues of interaction. With that being said, I thank you all very much for your attention, and I wish you a nice day. Bye.